How many Bitcoins does it take to get some goddamn respect in this town?
Dodge this.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent weekend. Now, having a look at what we did have stocks do just before the weekend started, even with all of the Omicron variant FUD and fear happening, we ended up putting in an all-time high for the stock market, the S&P, on the daily and on the weekly as well. And having a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has also had a very nice bounce off of this critical level right here around the $47,100 level. But what is going to happen tomorrow? It is definitely an anticipated move for Bitcoin, but I'm going to show you in today's video why the whales are playing some games right now, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I actually bought another 10 Bitcoin at these levels. And yes, it could go lower, and maybe I could be wrong, but I'm going to show you something happening right now. We're going to look at absolute positive proof that the bull run is not over yet. We're going to look at three very important charts, and I'm even going to show you why Bitcoin, I had said, could hit 1 million, could actually even hit upwards of $2 million. Yes, it's extremely possible with all of this inflation and reallocation of money. So if you are doubting what is happening right now in the crypto space, you're worried, you're freaking out, you're thinking it's over, you're going to want to stick around to the end. We have a lot of information in this video. You're going to get a lot of value out of it. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider it. Let's try to keep this video on pace today, starting with the chart. So yes, we did have a nice bounce right here, and I am looking for Bitcoin, if we do continue to bounce upwards, to come up and probably have some resistance around this $53,400 area. If we do have the breakdown to the downside, then yes, we will revisit the legacy trend at around the $42,000 level. I have explained to you that Bitcoin is a bit in no man's land. In fact, where is the actual chart right here? You can actually see right in here is sort of where the whales are playing their games, right? Now, let's get back to the chart super quick. You can see that we're actually having massive resistance. I told you there's a lot more resistance on Bitcoin right now than there is on Ethereum. Although Ethereum did have a bit of a pullback, Bitcoin is still struggling a lot more. You can see right now we're being held down by this resistance. We have another resistance here. We have another resistance here. And if we do get through that, then we have the top of this falling wedge. So there's definitely a lot more pressure for Bitcoin to be pushed to the downside than to be pushed to the upside. However, if you do remember looking at these Fibonacci levels, we can see that Bitcoin has already retested the 1.618 right here. Not only did we have the consolidation back here after Bitcoin hit 42,000, but after the 55% drop, we also had consolidation as well, which is telling me that if we look at historical patterns, Bitcoin has never retested the 1.68 generally more than once. It's already done it kind of twice with a consolidation, and it never goes below the previous all-time high, which means that Bitcoin is not looking to break the $20,000 level. Now, if you don't believe me, stick around, and I'm going to show you why this bull run is still intact. Now, according to Velvet, he actually applied the Fibonacci retracement just to the move that we just had right here, and he calculated the 1.618 at around $88,800. Now, I said I had a $75,000 target based on the previous move, and you can see Coconut points out, look at the similarities right here, and also with all of the bullishness happening right now, he says he doesn't understand how anybody could be selling Bitcoin or even altcoins unless you people are just working with big banks trying to slow us down. Well, that's exactly why I retweeted what Heidi, blockchain chick, had said. One of the confidence-destroying tactics of whales is to keep relief rallies from happening. This is all a game, and they know it, hence why they are keeping us in the middle of this no man's land, the same way that they had freaked everybody out down here. Okay, when we had this accumulation, right? We had the distribution, we had the accumulation, and everybody's saying, oh, this is a double top, 1, 2, that's it. They're saying, oh, it's the megaphone, we're falling down. No, this is what they're doing, guys. They're playing with your emotions. These are lengthening cycles. They're lasting longer than usual. And because people are used to these fast moves in the crypto markets, right? Usually a move that would basically, go like this, okay, having a 55% drop, then reclaiming it, then coming back down 30%. Back in in, historical 2017, 2018, 2019, these are moves that we would see happen in about a month, whereas, this move has been taking us almost the entire year to get out of. And this is why people are getting concerned. But let me just tell you, my friends, and I posted this publicly on Twitter yesterday, I said Bitcoin is at a 30% discount from an all-time high. I bought more, and you can see right here, I bought it at 47,429. I market bought 10.54 Bitcoin. And this is not for trading. This is adding to my long-term portfolio, my HODL bags, right? And you may think this is crazy. You may say, well, what if it goes down to 30 or 20? Well, I said this is a marathon, not a sprint. Rampant inflation, fiat crumbling, etc. Bitcoin will be worth over $1 million in our lifetime. Buying at these prices is a steal. And I put my money where my mouth is. Now, having a look at some on-chain indicators, if we have a look at what Glassnode has talked about, let me actually get off the screen in just a minute, and I'm going to show you 3 different indicators right now that show you that we are literally nowhere near the top. And personally, these types of dips are amazing for accumulation. Now, the first one that we're going to pull up right here is the R-HODL ratio. So this is realized HODL ratio. So it is a market indicator that is based on the ratio of realized cap HODL waves. So historically, the indicator has peaked around the 50,000 to 200,000 range, which is essentially this red box around the Bitcoin price peaks in consecutive cycles. These were the best opportunities to sell Bitcoin. In contrast, reaching areas below 350, or the blue area, was associated with Bitcoin price bottoms. These were the best opportunities to buy Bitcoin. And you can see right now that, granted, we are not in the bottom area, but we are also nowhere near the top. And we also have a nice upward slope. You can see the last times we were at this level, we still had a lot more to go. Now, the next one is the MVRZ score, which is used to estimate when Bitcoin is overvalued or undervalued relative to its fair value. So when the market value is significantly higher than the realized value, this historically indicates a market top. Once again, guys, you could see that we are absolutely nowhere near the market top. You could see these blue arrows indicate the market being at the absolute top. And if you have a look at where we are right now, we are literally nowhere near it. Another chart we can look at right now is the net unrealized profit loss, which is the difference between relative unrealized profit and relative unrealized loss. You can see right here, having a look at where the arrows are, once again, guys, we are nowhere near the top. In fact, usually after touching this area for several times, we do continue to the upside. And I also want to give a shout out to Plan C, who actually broke down the net unrealized profit and loss even closer and said, if you have a look at where we are right now, he says we got our third 0.5 level on the NUPL cycle reset. So if you see right here, 1, 2, 3, usually on the third, we continue blasting upwards. Right here, okay, we had the third, we did go up, we had a fourth, and we went up even higher in 2017. And currently, you can see right now, we're at those exact same levels. So every single thing is pointing towards the fact that these markets are simply just in a cool down phase. And I'm telling you guys, the whales are in fact playing games right now, like Mike McClone from Bloomberg said, right? He said, if you have a look at what is happening right now with inflation, you're looking at a $100,000 Bitcoin, you're looking at a $2,000 gold. And yes, 2022 could potentially be the peak for the Bitcoin chart, but have a look at what is happening right now. I mean, here's just welcome to the age of mammoth mortgages, right? I mean, if you just have a look, this is absolutely insane how much the prices of houses and real estate are just absolutely booming. And why is this happening? Well, it's happening because of the money printer going burr. Now, this is a chart from, I believe this is from 2015 or 2017. I don't remember, but this is the original money market chart that they used to use. I believe it's from around 2017. And they go in here and they basically explain, if you're having a look, right? So this is cryptocurrency right here, right? Each one of these little squares represents 100 billion. We know Bitcoin's about 9 times the size of that right now. But if we zoom in and we have a look, here's the biggest companies in the world, the 50 richest people, California's GDP, Fed's balance sheet, which this is actually pretty funny when you see the updated chart, currency, gold, stock markets, money supply, derivatives, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, now let's fast forward to the new one. This is actually from last year. You can see that, yes, Bitcoin has in fact grown. Obviously, 244 billion. It's actually up to about 900 at this point, so it's even bigger than that right now. But if you look at this, they also add in military spending, U.S. budget deficit, coins and banknotes, Fed balance sheet, and look at this, added since just January 1st, 2020. So yeah, that's about a third of it. Oh, and by the way, guys, this was actually from last year. That doesn't even count what we did this year, considering that we printed about 40% in just the past 2 years. So yeah, this is getting a little bit crazy. Billionaires, gold, Fortune 500, stock markets, money supply, global debt, global real estate, global wealth. Okay, do you see this? And this is all the derivatives. So let's actually just go all the way back right here. Let's go all the way back here. Okay, so yeah, here's Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And honestly, Bitcoin is about 4 times as big as this right now. So actually, Bitcoin would be like 4 of these squares, okay, now instead of 1. But I mean, guys, like if you have a look at this, this is absolutely, absolutely insane. And if you want to understand, first of all, like how it's even possible for Bitcoin to get to these crazy valuations, to get to $1 million, to get to $2 million, which I do believe $1 million will happen in our lifetime, just literally listen to what Greg Foss says right here in this interview that he had, on what Bitcoin did, where he just simply explains pension funds and if they were just to reallocate some of their capital, not even considering all of the rampant inflation.
Yeah. Well, just do the math and you'll see the demand side of the equation. Again, if total I've run through this math with you before, but if total financial assets in the world are $900 trillion, that's what they are, okay? All bonds or all debt, all equities, all real estate, all gold, commodities, fine art, store of value, total of $900 trillion. I think Bitcoin easily captures 5% of that market. What's 5% of 900 trillion is 45 trillion. What's 45 trillion divided by 21 million? It's over $2 million bucks of Bitcoin in today's dollars.
But that's not even counting for price slippage when a lot of people want to buy.
How about this, brother?
Yeah.
It has to go through my price before it gets to 8 million bucks. So let's start with 2 million bucks. Okay. And the point is the way it gets there is when pension funds say, I got to get my 5%. Because 5% is a minimum. And what if they say 10%? Well, then it's 90 trillion divided by 21 million. And all of a sudden it's 4.5 million bucks of Bitcoin.
See, they are the perfect vehicle for Bitcoin. They have long time preference.
And by the way, what are their alternatives? They're pretty stinky right now.
And something to add on top of that is not just the inflation, not just people reallocating capital, but also the fact that the Bitcoin available supply in circulation has been declining since reaching a peak of 14 million. This is from Timothy Peterson. So you could see that not only are we having more money printing, not only are we having more types of funds, sovereign wealth funds even looking into Bitcoin and reallocating their capital, but we also have less and less and less Bitcoin coming out on the market. We're seeing more get put into cold storage, more of it get taken off of the exchanges, right? And interestingly enough, there was an interview over on Yahoo Finance with Ross Gerber. Now, Ross Gerber said that he doesn't even think inflation is even playing in to why Bitcoin is going up, which is crazy. If you take that out of the equation, he's still bullish on it. He's the co-founder, president, and CEO of Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management, and he pretty much oversees $1.8 billion worth of investments on behalf of Kawasaki, and they invest in, technology, electric vehicles, consumer media, entertainment companies, and other things as well. And you have to hear what he had to say. Let me put the volume up. What he actually had to say over on Yahoo Finance and why he continues to buy into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And he also does have one warning for crypto investors. So let's actually listen to this right now.
We'll start with crypto. We can broaden out to the market, but there's a lot of Bitcoin bugs who have been talking about inflation and how it's all due to the fact that the U.S. keeps printing cash. But, they might be overlooking the supply crunch that's happening here, too. So what do you make of where Bitcoin's at, given kind of the 30% pullback we've seen?
Well, I don't see any correlation between Bitcoin and inflation in the United States. But the pullback in Bitcoin is really a byproduct of its very high price and the fact that it's had such a great year. Most people in the stock market now think long term is, 2 weeks. And so with crypto being a 24/7 asset, it kind of compresses this short-termism mentality that really gets in the way from making smart investments. We buy Bitcoin on every dip. We buy Ethereum on every dip. This is a long-term, high-risk investment for investors. If you want to be a part of the digital currency of the future, you buy and hold these assets. If you trade them, you're playing a very difficult game. But I cannot be more bullish about the crypto ecosystem in the next decade.
Yeah, just to follow on that too. I mean, are you looking to maybe start to broaden out beyond Bitcoin and Ether? Obviously, there's a lot of questions as you get further and further down the line in some of these assets. But now it's been interesting to watch correlations start to break from some of those too. I'm thinking about Terra. We've had that founder on a few times, and some of the other, products in the crypto space. But there's still security questions, and the SEC hasn't really given any guidance there.
Right. So you've got two big questions in there. One is, what are these other coins worth? And most of them are worthless. We did this with the ICOs in the last cycle in 18. In 2018, we started a crypto index, and it was coins over 10 billion. And our index started at 1,000 at the top, 118. And it went down to about 200 when the market declined. And basically all those other coins died pretty much, except for maybe Bitcoin Cash. And Bitcoin and Ethereum are like cockroaches. They're just not going to die. And so, they've come back, and now that index sits around 3,500 for us. So Bitcoin and Ethereum has been the best way to play these assets over the long term versus many of the other coins that are sort of get rich quick coins. Some of the coins we like, maybe like the Binance coin, that have utility. But if you can't ascribe direct utility to the coin and you just start telling me it's proof of stake or proof of this or proof of that, I don't want anything to do with it, because I'm a long-term investor and it's got to be here when the next crypto winter comes, which will come. So beware, crypto NFT lovers. Crypto winter come, and they're brutal. So we're in the core assets, and that's where I think investors should be long-term.
So as someone who's actually been through 2 full crypto winters, one very brutal crypto winter at this point, I can definitely say it's not a fun time to be around, but it is an excellent opportunity to accumulate. I personally don't think we're headed into a crypto winter, and as far as his sort of warning for investors as far as these NFT lovers, personally, the way that I see NFTs essentially is right now they are in a bit of a bubble. But I do think that they will have utility, and I do think they will have value in the future, the same way that, things come back, nostalgia, video games, right? So for a while, you're holding on to your Super Mario game, or you're holding on to a Beatles record that your mom or dad gave you or something like that. And, it just kind of sits in the attic. Nobody really cares. But then all of a sudden there's just this wave of nostalgia, or something just triggers it, or a movie comes out that just reminds people of, something, a toy they used to play with as a kid, right? Same thing with the NFTs, right? I do think that some of them will have value, but of course, value is in the eye of the beholder, right? I mean, granted, if I had a gold watch, that's cool. Hey, I got this gold watch, but, if I'm giving it to some hungry child, in a third world country where he would, he needs food, what's he going to do with the watch? Eat it? No, he's not. So value is he would rather, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's based on the individual, but having a look at what is happening with the metaverse, you can see right here, they say the metaverse will bring unbridled evolution to NFTs. NFTs are here to stay, and the arrival of the metaverse is only set to make their appeal and use even more popular. I do believe that the metaverse is going to create sort of that value, right? I mean, just having these virtual worlds with virtual lands and virtual shops and virtual products, you're going to have some sort of value attached to it. Now, is it in a bit of a bubble right now? I think it's in a bit of a bubble in the sense that it's not just like because it's an NFT or because it's a play to earn game token that it's going to do well. But unfortunately right now, that's kind of where we're at. So everyone is scrambling, and it is worth playing those opportunities, but you do kind of want to be careful playing those opportunities right now. Now, obviously getting into these early, for example, I told you guys about Nitro League. So this is coming out. This is an ideal launch on Polkastarter, Polygon, and Copper. And I also explained to you what these guys are doing. Obviously, it's actually pretty cool, because if you're in the metaverse, for example, you can essentially have your profile, you can have a shop, you can have the cars in it, you can like rent the cars, sell the cars, upgrade the cars, right? So it's really interesting, all the things that you can do with that. Like I said, it is still very early in the space for the metaverse, but it is going to be a thing. I mean, come on, Facebook is changing their name to Meta, like it's going to be here. So this is just a really good opportunity. I did want to bring it up again. Friendly reminder, the IDO is launching. That will be December 13th, depending on when you watch the video. That is in less than 24 hours from now. But there is always one thing I just want to say before we go, and that is to please, 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 please be careful. Understand that anything that we're investing in here is definitely risky. And also, if you're leaving your coins on centralized exchanges, hello guys, Ascendex, who's formerly BitMax, got hacked for $80 million worth. So there was 78 million, 60 in Ethereum, 9.2 in BSC, 8.5 on Polygon. So obviously, guys, just be very careful out there. And also talking about Ethereum super quick before we get on out of here. Ethereum did get rejected from the Bitcoin comparative level that we talked about, but I am still anticipating that we are building a ascending triangle right here. I still believe that this is what we're doing. So I do believe we will have the breakout, and I do believe that Ethereum will continue upwards. The only thing, like I said, the only thing concerning me is that on the USD chart, we are in fact building a descending triangle. So it's a little bit of a conflicting chart here for Ethereum, looking extremely bullish on on Bitcoin versus Ethereum, looking somewhat neutral right now on Ethereum versus the US dollar. But nevertheless, guys, I am still buying the dip. And if I do see Ethereum, if I see Ethereum fall below around the $3,600 level or even hit this level right here, that's definitely a long opportunity. Like if you are trading, I would long that or minimally buy the dip. Not financial advice, but that's just what I would do, guys. And of course, if you are interested in learning how to trade leverage, don't forget to check all my tutorials below. There's over $8,000 in bonuses. And if you're interested, you can check out these videos popping up right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.